the revs rise, the flag goes down, and away they go. Are we going to see that Cooper come out of the box very quickly? Well, we do. But is it going to get its nose ahead? No, it's not, because it's another Cooper. It's that of Joe Twyman from second row that's come through, the cream-coloured Cooper of Joe Twyman that leads away and is out front. Rod Jolly is in second place. In third place is Bronson. Roger Wills is already in fourth. And fifth is Gary Pearson, who started on the front row with the BRM Type 25. Already out, unfortunately, Will Nuttall with the Cooper Maserati, which broken. The drive shaft has broken on that car by the looks of things. The drive shaft has dumped itself on the line.
Well, what a stunning start for Joe Twyman to take the lead. And the little white Cooper started, number 17, started fifth on the grid. He's being chased by Rod Jolly at the moment, and the big front-engine cars just didn't seem to have the traction off the line, and now they're trying to catch up, and the B25 BRM, number 26, Gary Pearson on board, has a bit of ground to make up. He started third, he's fallen to fifth, he's just moved back ahead. And Roger Wills is in the Lotus 16, but out front is Joe Twyman, the white Cooper at the front, being chased by Rod Jolly.
Absolutely, and the two Cooper climaxes were jostling for position. Down the outside, though, very boldly has come Julian Bronson. He's running very wide, got a wheel on the grass, but look at that, he's run round them both, and he's got the grunt, the torque to get ahead. Coming up the inside, Twyman tries to counter, can't quite make it. A little lock up there of brakes, but it's all safely through. And Twyman had a problem there trying to get a gear, as a result of which Rod Jolly has come past him. So look at that, Roger Wills back up into fourth place, fifth. There's yellow flags waving like crazy. That's, of course, for the Cooper Maserati that's off on the right hand, the Centro Sud car that broke on the start line, Will Nuttall's car. But lots of drama, lots of action. But it's Rod Jolly now in second place, chasing the Scarab, which was on pole in the hands of Julian Bronson.
That was a bold move by the Scarab driver, Bronson, down into Woodcote. Now he's got his work cut out because Rod Jolly coming back at him. I think there might be further gear change problems for Joe Twyman in number 17. Keeps looking down in the cockpit. Right behind him, super close, fourth and fifth. With Gary Pearson behind Roger Wills. They're both being caught by the Tech Mech, and up the inside goes Gary Pearson to go inside in the first part of lap. The Lotus 16 of Roger Wills makes it stick, but again Wills attacks back at the second part, can't do it. BRM stays ahead of Lotus, but out front it's the Scarab of Julian Bronson and Rod Jolly. These were the fastest two in official practice, and Jolly just streaked past. Problem for John Bronson, surely, the way he was passed out there, Marcus.
Well,
was it a misgear? What was going on there?
You know, I'm not sure, but we'll see as it unfolds. Will Rod Jolly now have the advantage he craves? He's previous winner here at Goodwood, and he tucks in. I think the Scarab is in trouble, isn't it? As you say, it looks like it's.
Well, it's all bunching up behind, and Joe Twyman.
Yeah,
yes.
Scarab's in the pits. There's smoke coming out of the exhaust down the side, and the Scarab challenge is over.
And so suddenly we have the BRM with Gary Pearson, number 26, up into second place. He's gone ahead of Joe Twyman, who I really am quite convinced has a gear change problem. Roger Wills going far better than he has had in practice, so he's up into fourth place. But at the front and pulling clear is Rod Jolly. Then comes the big BRM of Gary Pearson. Then Joe Twyman in the little white Cooper, and behind Roger Wills in the best place Lotus in fourth place, and right behind him he's got the number 25 Tech Mech with Tony Wood on board.
That's
Jolly
fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going through the kink before St Mary's. Already out of St Mary's is race leader Rod Jolly. So the number 10 Cooper starting to pull clear. On form, he should have done that. He and Bronson were the two quickest. Tony Wood, very much a man on the move, and Gregor Fiskin. There's the last ever 250F, the Tech Mech, that's the red one, and right behind a more traditional shape, but with the white and red Monegasque livery, that's Gregor Fiskin, who started fourth, had a very poor start, and is now starting to pick his way up again.
Absolutely right. The Tech Mech is the ultimate development of the 250F. It's got independent suspension, it's got disc brakes, and it's got no overhangs. It's really tightly shrink wrapped. Also has quite big anti-roll bars on it these days, I noticed. But they come down into Woodcote corner for this, the third time. Rod Jolly put in the fastest lap last time round at 28.007.
Well, I think he should be able to improve on that. Let's see, he's crossing the start-finish line because he's the only one. Oh, very close. 0.2 of a second down, but he's racing clear for the first time, and now it looks as though still slight problems for Joe Twyman. He made that amazing start. He is falling back, or maybe it's a case that Roger Wills is on the charge. Up to third in number 16 and is dropping the white Cooper, number 17. Great sight. All these different shapes of cars. What a changing moment in Formula 1 history. Front engine to rear end.
We've had Flav still waving another of the cars broken. That's Albert Straminski. That's the car that had problems on the grid. And I think that may be, where's that, over past St Mary's, isn't it? Still lots of yellow flags waving as the field comes through towards Maserati corner. I think that still is for the car that's pulled off on the opposite side of the track, just safely drawn into a halt there.
Yeah, there is the car just before Lavant. Well spotted, Marcus. Out of my sight, unfortunately. The trees have grown up over the years. I must have cut back so I can see the sequence of the lap. Looking there at number 19, that's Joaquin Folk Rossignol, lapping in 8th place in his Lotus Climax, Lotus 16 Climax, and losing the pack ahead of him. John Chisholm is escaping.
Last time round, Pearson was quicker than the leader. New fastest lap to Gary Pearson, 1:27.910, considerably quicker than he went in qualifying on Friday.
Yeah, there's no great consistency of pace because those behind are starting to catch up. John Chisholm, watch out for him in number 18. He's starting to make ground. He's on the tail of Gregor Fiskin's big Maserati, so definitely on the move in 7th place.
One of those lead three has a little bit of a fluffy misfire, and I think it may be the BRM.
Okay, I thought that Roger Wills last time round was getting the move on. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. No wonder he's caught up onto the tail of Gary Pearson. Rod Jolly is another 1.2, 1.3 seconds away in the lead. This duo could catch the race leader, so Jolly, I thought, would pull clear once his main rival, Julian Bronson, had pulled off. Maybe not. So there's the battle for second place, the big BRM P25, Gary Pearson, a much smaller Lotus with Roger Wills behind him, about 4, 5, 6 car lengths back as they go through St Mary's, then down into the dip. You can see the race leader, Rod Jolly, going up, holding a very beautiful line there into the first part of the lap, a 2-part right-hander. So important to get right because you then carry your exit speed, or build from your exit speed down the Lavant straight.
Lovely to see the little Lotus 16 tricycling through Lavant. It's back onto terms with the BRM, number 26, famous Joe Bonnier car.
Wills looking very quick down the Lavant straight. He cuts the corner at the kink, but he's on the outside line. Not that that stops people overtaking him. We saw it in the opening race. If you're brave, you can go the whole way around. But Gary Pearson knows his craft. It slides just a little bit wide. Now Wills is the Kiwis taking a look up the inside. Not working just there. He has, so tucks into 3rd place. Rod Jolly goes on to the 6th lap. His lead last time around was 1.287 seconds. What will it be this time? Less or more? Oh, well, I mean, we get a deal in hundreds here. So 1.23 seconds is the gap.
Yeah, and side by side, Wills and Pearson over the line. Wills just sneaking ahead with another fastest lap, 1:27.002.
Half a second better than Bronson's pole time in the Scarab. So there goes number 16. Roger Wills, the Kiwi, giving chase. Race leaders are coming up to traffic, and behind him Gary Pearson will be ready to pounce should there be any lifting. Steve Tillack waves them by, the American racer in the Ferrari staying nicely out of the way, so he didn't interrupt their pace. Rod Jolly continues to lead the race. 2nd place coming up the rise to Lavant is Roger Wills. 3rd place Gary Pearson in that amazing, such a historic BRM, the first one to win a round of the World Championship. Joe Bonnier at Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix in 1959, an illustrious history racing ever since.
Yep, they're on the Lavant straight now through the kink, and that is the 3rd place car on your screens, the BRM. Up ahead, Rod Jolly in 10, 16 is Roger Wills. And the Tech Mech coming back at Joe Twyman, and Gregor Fiskin in behind him, the number 12 Tillack car staying out of the way. And right with them now, Sir John Chisholm in his ex-works Lotus 18. There's no room around the outside of Steve Tillack there, though, at Woodcote. He has to come back down the inside. That's cost him time. John Chisholm now stuck, lost probably a second and a half, I would think, in that corner alone. Well,
that's a big shame because he was just shaping up. He was much closer to Gregor Fiskin in the 56 250F.
Wills quickest again, 26.8. Here's the start. Let's just pick it up. Twyman snakes across the track. 1 or 2 of the BRMs in trouble in the middle of it. Barry Baxter's was very slow away. Doc Straminski's didn't get very far either in the race. And yes, a gap suddenly opened up on the right-hand side as Gary Pearson aimed to his right. And the right-hand side of your screen coming through is the cream Cooper of Joe Twyman. Roger Wills right behind him, his old mate, stuck in behind, but has to settle for 4th place going into Magic Corner behind the Scarab of Julian Bronson. That wasn't long for this race. Someone got a big moment on there. It's the JBW of one of the 3 Baileys in the race.
Tim Bailey. Luckily, it didn't come to anything.
Yeah, one-off car made for Brian Naylor by his mechanic Fred Wilkinson.
Well, getting really, really close. It was half a second between Jolly and Wills on the start-finish line, maybe slightly less than that as the Kiwi gives chase, and the number 16, Lotus 16, and Gary Pearson now 1 second behind in 3rd place. And there is the race leader, Rod Jolly, number 10, coming through the chicane to complete the 7th lap. And what will the gap be this time? Any closer? It looks about the same, about half a second back to Roger Wills. Let's have that confirmed. Still just half a second. So has Wills got the pace? He's won here before. He's had Heartbreak here before. There is the number 20, JBW, that had that twitch. Luckily didn't come to anything. And then comes 4th place, Joe Twyman, Tony Wood behind him, and Gregor Fiskin having a look up the inside. 2 250Fs don't look the same, do they, Marcus?
They certainly don't. And I'm looking at that lead tussle. Rod Jolly has just done a personal best in response to Roger Wills' repeated attacks. Gap down to 0.57 a second. One of those lead cars has a misfire, and I can only assume now it might be the lead car of Rod Jolly, because Wills looking very strong, setting great times, and the BRM not quite with them. It's just dropped back a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's Jolly, because he's actually stretched his advantage. Oh, we've had a spinner out of St Mary's. I can't see it, I'm afraid. I just heard change of engine note. No wave yellow flag, so he obviously collected it. A thumbs up from the marshals on the inside of the circuit. There, my eyes around the corner. Great battle going on between the Tech-Mech and Gregor Fiskin. So Tony Wood keeping ahead. Confused us with his new racing helmet, Marcus, but we're just about there. Now, race leader Rod Jolly. It seemed a bigger margin when he came past St Mary's. And going down to the chicane, well, it was half a second. It is. It's as though Rod Jolly has not gained any further advantage. It stays at about half a second. So the clock is counting down just over 8 minutes until the checkered flag will come out. What's the gap? 0.6 of a second. My golly, he's found about 500ths.
Yeah, maybe it is the Roger Wills car that's flapping, because
I have a feeling it is.
It's bizarre, isn't it? He's setting some great time still. Jolly, a new fastest lap of the race, 26.373. 26.4 for Wills is a resounding PB. 26.3 for the leader. It's not really hampering his performance. They've just gone past John Monson, the cancer specialist, now based out in the US. He's Irish.
I think what's happening, the lead duo are going faster and faster. They're dropping Gary Pearson, who's running sort of at the pace he has been, but the gap between 1st and 2nd is stretching. It hasn't been traffic affected. I think Rod Jolly's just found his mojo in the number 10 Cooper.
Oh, off into the Cornstukes goes one of the Baileys in the Cooper Maserati. That's Tom Bailey. That was a very big departure into the scenery.
Threshing, I think we could probably say.
He did go threshing.
The battle for 4th place, Joe Twyman, who made that amazing start, managed to swerve past the damp patch that the gassers put down on the start line. There is. Exploring nature. The number 11, Tom Bailey, one of the trio of Baileys. He started 15th and was running...
One of the sons, yeah.
Yeah, one of the sons. He was running in about 9th place, actually. So he made up ground, but then he discovered a bit too much ground, a bit of greenery.
Brand new combine harvester.
That's right, hanging underneath.
Yes, that was very exciting. You can see how it all occurs.
Well,
He's up behind Barry Baxter, yeah. Oh, he touched the grass on the outside.
The smallest of touches, but the change of grip, and round he went, forwards, backwards, sideways. He'll be a dusty fellow when he gets back. You can see all the dust on the top of the crop there. Oh, number 6 coming through very slowly. I think reacting to yellow flags, and that's Michael Steele in the Connaught C-Type through St Mary's.
That's fairly worrying when you're careering off over there and you don't know what's behind you. Oh, and actually Steele coming around.
He was going so slowly. He must have spun just out of my sight beneath my commentary box.
Oh, and he's clocked the conveyor belt in with the rear right corner.
OK, but the corner's fully green again, just going past the scene of the crime. And Joe Twyman really having to work for his keep as Gregor Fiskin in the 56, the taller of the 250Fs. He's got past Tony Wood a lap ago, and Tony in the Tech-Mech is fighting back. You can see the red, shorter Maserati 250F running out of room as he tried to go on the left out of the second part of Lavant. Now he's tucked right behind Gregor Fiskin in a more classically shaped 250 ahead. That's the battle for 5th place. And in fact, as they fight, Joe Twyman has edged slightly clear in the little number 17, the white Cooper.
Gregor Fiskin thoroughly enjoying himself. The Tech Mech cocking a front wheel through Woodcote Corner. .1 between our race leader.
Well, it worked for Tony Wood. There he goes up into 5th place again. Fiskin back to 6th. All the fight has to be continued. 5 more minutes of racing until 5 more minutes until the checkered flag comes out. They're fighting over 5th place, and it does seem as they tussle, Joe Twyman is just edging clear of them to be able to relax for the first time in the race. But these 250F Maseratis won the red Tech Mech, and the 56, the more classically shaped example, are going to fight all the way to the checkered flag.
It's a fantastic photographic contrast, isn't it, between those two eras of 250F.
Tell you what, they both corner very well. Just seeing them coming through St Mary's, and Fiskin's so close in the white and red 250F in the background that Tony Wood really had to chop across to carry his line without getting the nose.
Yep, the white and red cars in the Monegas racing livery of André Testu.
Now, at this point, last time around, Tony Wood in the Tech Mech was behind and found an advantage before the end of the lap. And again, he seems to be getting the power down better as they go through the kink and along the lap straight towards the end of the lap. Roger Wills had to go through a tiny, tiny space.
Do you know the Connaught's still going, despite having covered that conveyor belting at St Mary's with quite a whack?
Yeah, but there it is in the background of the shot with the yellow triangle on its nose. It was quite a whack. It did come past me very slowly. I thought he was reacting to someone else's problem because it was hidden from my view, but he clearly has the feel of the car. Now, in traffic in the last couple of laps, Rod Jolly has worked it better than Roger Wills. The gap's 1.7 seconds between first and second. 22 on the screens. Oh, there's the shark nose, but it's not a Ferrari. And that's the Maserati 250F. Is that Joseph Otto Rettenmeier, 33? I think it probably is. Race leader Rod Jolly in the number 10. Cooper with that classic Works white fin going through St Mary's, up the other side, diving down inside.
Dusty Bailey, isn't it?
Yeah. Dusty Bailey, who had his own crop circles. And slightly delayed behind him there, so a little momentum lost.
And
you
Wills,
can see the
you can
nose
see
of Wills in the background. He's now got to get round Tom Bailey in the Cooper Maserati, the turquoise number 11, and should be able to do so, but Rod Jolly just hasn't managed to do it. The Maserati seemed to have good grunt out of the second part of the lap, and now you can see first and second, last time around 1.7 seconds, now more like 0.1 of a second as they go down through Woodcote, still not past Tom Bailey. Now, Will, how brave.
Oh, Will's up the inside. Oh, and that's done it.
Tillack has just kissed the chicane in the background. Well, you've got to go for a moment, but I would suggest that Roger went from a little far back there. It must be said there was a hesitation from Rod Jolly. He obviously decided he, in the number 10 Cooper, would try it after the chicane, pulled off. Oh, everyone's keeping going again. So it's been an exciting couple of laps for Tom Bailey.
Certainly can't drive that on with the rear corner hanging off it. He's going to park it up at the side. Roger Wills parking up the other side.
Well, as I said earlier, Roger's experienced a lot of triumph here, but a lot of heartbreak as well. So I think we'll put that one in the latter category.
Be lucky not to have hurt his wrist in that, actually, because when you hit the side of the car, the steering gets wrenched out of your hand. And Roger Wills down there in the Lotus 16 at the side of the chicane. See what happens. Stuck behind Tim Bailey there. And Roger Wills saw an opportunity, or half an opportunity, and boof. Had possibly expected Bailey to just let them both through to the chicane, but Bailey was there first.
He was there first, but he had bottoms up Rod Jolly. Rod just thought, I'll do it the other side of the chicane, and going for the smallest of gaps. Not probably his best judged manoeuvre. Roger Wills went up the inside, and then Tom Bailey just turned in the number 11, and that's that. Well, Roger's up and about, sorry, out of the car.
He's fine.
Now, in all of that sorting out,
well, Joe Twyman's up into third place.
Did Gary Pearson move into the lead of the race?
No. Jolly got going quite a way before Pearson. Pearson was about 6 or so seconds down going on to that lap. So here we go. We've had 12 laps. The gap is 6 seconds between Jolly and Pearson.
And now it's the last lap of the
Twyman
race.
up into third place. Fourth is Wood. Fifth is Fiskin. Sixth is Chisholm.
The only big change in that, of course, was losing Roger Wills. And diving bid to try and take the lead in the race, didn't come out, and up into third place, as you see on the screens, a little white Cooper, number 17, the super starter. Brilliant start by Joe Twyman in that to go into the lead from 5th on the grid. Now he's fighting for 3rd place, and looks like he should just do it. Very, very close to time for 2nd place. Sorry, he's having a go at Gary Pearson. There's the BRM P25 still in front of the Cooper.
And that's the battle for 2nd.
It is the battle for 2nd now. Is Twyman going to make a move? I don't think he'll do it to St Mary's. I think a more likely place would be into Lavant, but in fact Twyman ran a little wide and had to come off the power. What he wanted to do was get as much flow as possible. Twyman now knows he's got, what, a third of a lap to go. He's not going to manage to do it at Lavant, so where does it have to happen?
Underbraking at Woodcote is probably the favourite. If he can get into the BRM presenting a greater frontal area for the straight. Here's our leader down into Woodcote. But it's the battle for 2nd place that's going to be resolved in the remaining quarter of this lap. There is Rod Jolly in number 10 coming through to take a well-judged victory. Here he comes. Next cars are down, and it is still just the BRM ahead of the little Cooper as they come up to overtake Simon Diffie in his corners. He waves them past on the left-hand side. It is Gary Pearson in 26, 17 Joe Twyman, 25 Tony Wood, 56 Gregor Fiskin,